I'm Sheila Brummer with Siouxland Public Media News. The middle of the country is extraordinarily dry. The U.S. Drought Monitor, operated by the federal government and the National Drought Mitigation Center at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, reports that nearly half of Kansas is either in extreme or exceptional drought conditions, the highest drought designation. More than a quarter of Nebraska is in extreme drought, 13% in exceptional drought. Arid conditions are also impacting Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Missouri, and Kentucky. The latest drought monitor released today shows conditions in northwest Iowa did ease up a little bit in the region that is seeing anywhere from moderate drought to the second worst category of extreme drought. Crops are feeling the impact. The U.S. Department of Agriculture now rates only half of the U.S. corn crop as good or excellent. That's the lowest percentage since 1988. Nearly two-thirds of the nation's corn-growing areas are in drought. The frequency and intensity of droughts and rainfall are increasing due to burning fossil fuels and other human activity that releases greenhouse gases. That's according to data from a pair of satellites used to measure changes in Earth's water storage. The study was published in March in the Journal of Nature Water. And USDA Secretary and former Iowa Governor Tom Vilsack was back in the Hawkeye State today. He talked about ways the USDA is expanding market opportunities for smaller farms. He touted a $25 million grant going towards Cattlemen's Heritage Beef Company in southwest Iowa. The grant will help the company buy equipment for a Mills County facility that it's building. The facility will be able to process 1,500 head of cattle each day.
You think it's going to create jobs, good paying jobs? Think it's going to support the Mills County in southwest Iowa? I suspect so.
The facility is being built to increase competition in beef processing. 4 major companies control most of the beef slaughter across the U.S. In all, smaller meat and poultry operators in 17 states will be receiving $115 million in grants. The grants are the latest in a series of awards from President Joe Biden's administration, intended to increase meat and poultry processing. People in South Dakota will start saving money on things they buy starting on Saturday, July 1st. A bill signed by Governor Kristi Noem will lower sales tax rates in South Dakota from 4.5% to 4.2% for the next 4 years. In a statement, Noem expressed disappointment that the change would only be temporary. She has a goal of making the tax cut permanent for residents of South Dakota. Some South Dakota lawmakers are calling on their colleagues to convene for a special legislative session to address one of the state's most emotional issues, carbon dioxide pipelines, and the threat of eminent domain. Some legislators say it would be a waste of time and taxpayer money. Summit Carbon Solutions and Navigator CO Ventures, 2 carbon capture companies with plans to build what would be the largest pipeline system in the U.S., are under the critical eye of lawmakers and landowners alike due to concerns associated with their projects. To call a special session, both the South Dakota House of Representatives and Senate would need to have a 2/3 majority vote from members to convene. For Siouxland Public Media News, I'm Sheila Brummer. Listen for our next news at the bottom of the hour.